Hello, Trailblazers, and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneur Journey. And I am super stoked to have Brad Chandler with me today. I met Brad, I don't know, it's been years ago at a mastermind. And I just thought Brad was one of the coolest guys I've met in a long time. So welcome, Brad.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'll go into some fun questions.
Yeah, sure. So back in ninth grade, I read a book on how to buy real estate with no money down and knew that I always wanted to do real estate investing. And in 2002, an investor bought my neighbor's house in Vienna, Virginia. I went and talked to him and he said, yeah, I buy houses below market, 30% below market. I fix them up and I resell them. I'm like, geez, maybe the book I read in ninth grade was so old, I couldn't remember them telling me that, but I didn't know you could buy discounted real estate from, people that were in distress. So that was in late 2002. And I made up my mind. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this into a business. And it took me 8 months from December to July, working my butt off, coming home. I had a newborn at the time. I'd put him to bed at 6. I'd spend 6 to 8 with him, put him to bed at 8, work till 11 o'clock every night, pounding We Buy Houses signs. Every month that went by, I'm like, what is going on? Like, if these people can do it, I can do it. And I just got more and more persistent. And in July of 2003, I bought my first house. In July and August, somehow I bought 6 houses. I quit my full-time job in October 2003. And here we are, somewhere around 4,000 houses later today.
Nice. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more when we talk about your entrepreneur journey. But I just kind of wanted to get an overall feeling for you. So let's talk about just some fun questions I always like to ask some guests. What is your go-to snack?
A protein bar, the RX bars that have 3 ingredients. And I don't even know the 3 ingredients, but they're all 3 of them are healthy.
Nice. I like trail mix a lot, and it has to be like the right type of trail mix, not like the planters, where it's just full of M&Ms.
Yeah.
So favorite book, movie or TV show. Now I want to qualify this: when you were a kid, not now, but when you were a kid.
Oh my gosh. So the when you're a kid threw me off. Favorite TV show when I was a kid was probably Miami Vice or A-Team.
Ooh, B.A. Baracus. I pity the fool.
Yes.
Nice. If you were a politician, this is a hot topic. What would you want to try and change, or what law would you like to pass?
Wow, man, there's so many of them. I think just focus on our people in need first, really, the U.S.
Nice. Okay, so now let's dive into what you kind of started us on your entrepreneur journey. Now let's dive into that a little bit more. You talked about how you got started. Can you kind of take us from there to kind of where you are now and maybe fill in some of the gaps?
Yeah. So I started on my own. I was working for a developer at the time, and I just knew I didn't want to climb the corporate ladder. And so I was always looking for an opportunity. I was selling blow pops in 7th grade, and I had like $80 until the school shut me down. I thought I was rich. And so my dad was an attorney, had a successful business that was basically off of TV advertising. So I probably spent more money than any fix and flipper in the country over the last 20 years on TV ads. So just started the business that way. I was like literally started spending a couple $1,000s on TV advertising, and had just myself, and then I met my partner, and then we separated, responsibilities. He would do certain things, I would do certain things, and we would just, incrementally hire people along the way and then build out systems. And, here we are, with, 15 full-time virtual assistants and probably 15 full-time people here in the Springfield office. And just like any other company, we've had our ups and downs. A lot of the downs have been caused by, issues, personal issues, trying to prove myself, which we'll probably get to later. And that's all behind me. And now I'm actually in the process of building the company I've always wanted to build, and that is impacting people, impacting our clients, impacting our employees, impacting our investors.
Nice. Let's dive into that a little bit. So what is this new venture that you're out on now?
So, I've always I wanted to build this really successful company, and I got into real estate. Now looking back, I've gone through this major life transformation in the last year. The reason I wanted to build this big company was to prove the world that I had worth, because I felt insignificant. Like, I think all of us do to some degree. I'm not enough. So I spent 19 years trying to prove this through, 2 failed marriages and, issues with my son, and $9 million worth of business mistakes, 5 business mistakes. It cost me $9 million. So I've got that behind me now. And they were just a false set of beliefs that I lived under my whole life from things that I experienced in my childhood, which to some degree we all do. And those false beliefs were helpful at the time when I was a child, but not helpful now. It'd be like watching the A-Team now. Not helpful. Was it helpful then? Nah, maybe. But maybe that's not a good analogy. So anyway, Doug, I don't need to prove anything anymore. So I come into work every day thinking from the standpoint of not how do I go make $1 million or $10 million or $100 million is what I was after. It's how do I impact people in a positive way? And I know that by doing that, things are going to change. I'm going to make more money than I ever wanted to make because I'm focused on the right things. A lot of people oftentimes are just focused on the wrong things.
I want to ask you, because you're someone that's scaled a pretty large business, right? So it's been thrown around a lot, the word imposter syndrome, right? So it doesn't stop at any level, right? You still and I'm also thinking about the level of happiness, right? It has something to do with happiness. Your imposter syndrome has something to do with happiness, is what I'm thinking. Like, you get to a certain level, you think, oh, I've made it. Oh, wait, no, I haven't, and then you got to go to the next level, So can you kind of expand on that? I know that's not very clear, but if you kind of expand on kind of that imposter syndrome.
You just said a number of things in there. Imposter syndrome to me is, I have felt that my whole life. From the outside, we have this amazing company and I never misled anyone, but through these mistakes, I'd never had the financial wherewithal or the amazing wealth that I always hoped for, but people thought I did. So did I feel like an imposter? Absolutely. I remember having a conversation with Matt Andrews a couple of years ago about this very topic. Like, man, like, we're doing well, but I'm nowhere near what people think I am. So that's one part of the conversation. The other part of the conversation is, and I'm losing my train of thought here.
Your level of happiness, maybe. I'm just trying to throw words out because I talked about your level of happiness as you escalate. You think you're going to get happier at each stage.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you for saying that. So what you talk about is achievements, right? So most of my life, I looked for external things to bring me happiness. And what I've learned in the last year is nothing external. No amount of money can bring you happiness. Ask that to, and I just did a recent TikTok video, and man, I got hundreds and hundreds of comments about, I pointed to this boat and I was like, you don't need this to be happy. And I got all these people saying, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Money makes you happy. Money. And I'm like, you know what? Ask Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley and Prince and Michael Jackson how happy money made them. Billionaires are some of the loneliest people on the planet. So when we strive for achievements, okay, so my achievement is I want to earn this. Okay, now I've earned it. Does it bring me happiness? No, it doesn't bring me happiness. Now I'm on to the next thing. So my friend Larry says his definition of success is a daily optimized experience, sustainable over time or repeatable over time. If you focus on achievements, you're never going to be happy because you're always after the next thing, right? Now, I don't have any achievements. My only achievement is to impact as many people I can on this planet in a positive way to help them end the suffering that they inflict on themselves, so they can be free like I have just found freedom. And so it's just a completely different way to go about business. And most great businesses were formed from someone having a problem and trying to solve that problem. My problem I was trying to solve was the deficiencies I felt within myself. That's not a good problem to solve. I should have had a problem of, hey, the real estate industry and fix and flipping is really shady, which was part of my motivation. Let me legitimize it. Let me professionalize it. That was probably, half of it or 40% of it. The other was, well, I can make a lot of money, drive fast cars and big boats, and then I'll be worthy. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Wow. So is that TikTok video the one you talk about where you say, do you miss out in life from this one thing? Is that the same TikTok video?
No, that's another one. No, I've gotten, yeah, my TikTok account is blowing up. It's funny. I'm 48 years old and I've got a TikTok account that's blowing up.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous because I do not have a TikTok account, and everyone's telling me it's all the rage. But I'm like you. I think we might be the same, close, very close to the same age. I think I'm 47, so we are close to the same age. But I'm like TikTok. That's for the young people, right? But obviously not.
That's a myth. I can't tell you how many people have commented on, because a lot of what I'm speaking on is what I'm passionate about now, and that is how does our childhood, the trauma that we have from our childhood, carry through to the day that we die? And for some people, it collapses them. That's why we have a 60% obesity rate, a 50 to 70% divorce rate, drug use and drug addiction that's spiraling out of control. It's all comes back to the same thing. So I talk about that. I talk about it ad nauseum, and I can't tell you the number of people I get that are commenting on my page that are saying, I've been dealing with this for 30 and 40 and 50 years. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are way older than me on TikTok.
Nice. Yeah, I just need to spend more time on TikTok and figure it out. So can we talk about your new venture and how someone might, like, what it is, what does it offer, and how does someone get involved?
Yes. So, I mean, what it offers is if you're struggling with relationship issues, I talk about one of my videos that went pretty big is why do I have a shitty marriage? That's the title of it. It's actually pinned at the top of my YouTube or TikTok account. And marriage counselors often are like, well, just, whatever, have more date nights or repeat back what you heard her say or him say or whatever. And I call bullshit on that because believe me, I went through enough marriage counselors in my last two marriages to I don't even want to recall. And I'd often leave there saying, like, let's just get divorced, because it's never about the relationship with the other person. It's the relationship you have with yourself. So if you find yourself, taking things personally or judging other people, or you have self-destructive behaviors, you drink too much, you eat too much, you have sex too much, you gamble too much. What if you take anything to excess self-destructive behaviors? These are all signs. If you have a business that's all over the place, up and down, if you've never had a good relationship in your life and you're like, why do I keep meeting all these losers? Well, you meet all these losers because that's who you're looking for. Your subconscious is looking for. So if you're struggling with any of those areas in your life, I can promise you almost 99.9% of the time, it leads back to something in your childhood where you form these false beliefs to get you through it. And it served you then, but it's not serving you now. So because I've gone through this, I've become passionate about it, Doug. I've spent, hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I've read 25 books, and I've witnessed the person who took me through my transformation take a bunch of people through. And so now I'm offering this to people. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly. I've got, one coaching spot open now. I'm trying to figure out a way, and partly through TikTok and through the social media, I want to make the biggest impact I can. So my goal is to, start finding people who are willing to do it, live. And I get a lot of people aren't going to want to do that, which is fine. And I'll take them, off the live platform and talk to them, through Zoom or whatever. But I just want to share this. I just want to share it. So what I have to offer is, if you're struggling with relationships or addictions or self-destructive behaviors, or, again, always being pissed off, always being, irritated when someone does something, or taking things personally or judging people, I think I can help you if you're in a position of your life and you're ready to be helped and you want to change.
That sounds like the ultimate transformation to me, because what you offer carries over into so many other things. It's amazing.
Yeah, it does. Those false beliefs never just permeate one area of your life or affect one area of your life. They permeate your whole life. So you are, you have this amazing organization, Entrepreneur Journey. What can an entrepreneur learn? You should hear me say that I lost $9 million in 5 mistakes. All of those can trace back to me chasing my worthiness, which came from those false beliefs. So here's like the dilemma. The dilemma is, I really believe a lot of athletes and people who are very, very, very wealthy were driven to prove themselves. So it's a curse, just like most things in life. It's a curse and a blessing, right? It drives you, but it can also take you down. And there's a very, very fine line in, is it going to drive you to financial success, or is it going to take you down to ultimate, addiction and death? So if you can be aware of that, it just changes everything. Like, if you think about when you make decisions, are you making decisions what's best for you and your family and your customers and your employees? Or are you thinking, wait, I can make, oh my God, this might make $1 million. You don't think, oh, I may make $1 million consciously. Oh, and then I'll be worthy. It's your subconscious, which drives 80% of all of your thinking and all of your behavior. So as an entrepreneur, if you can just recognize that, and you're like, well, how do I recognize that? Everything I just said, because Gurdjieff, this famous person, I think he was famous, said, you can't escape prison unless you know you're in prison. Ooh. And 2 years ago, if you'd have said, are you in prison? I'd been like, no, I'm not in prison. I was in prison. I was in prison to my thoughts and these false beliefs that I wasn't enough. So you cannot escape prison until you know you're in prison. And a lot of you know you're in prison and you're struggling mightily, but then there's a huge subset of you guys that have no idea you're in prison. And you're like, well, why is my wife not, why don't I have deep connections with my wife? Why do my kids have anxiety and depression issues? Why is my business always up and down? Why am I always pissed off? Why do I drink? Why am I drinking 3 glasses of bourbon a night? Like, oh shit, maybe I am in prison and I don't know it.
Oh, that's awesome. So I heard you say you have one coaching spot open right now. So this is one-on-one coaching?
It is, yeah. For right now, I don't know what it's going to morph to. All I know is I've taken on some clients and just am having some pretty amazing results. And so I'm going to keep rolling with it until I figure out, maybe one day I'll be on Oprah.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are going to want to tap into this one-on-one coaching. So when your coaching opens up, what's the best way for them to know about that?
So Brad Chandler Coaching, you can find me at Brad Chandler Coaching on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can always private message me through there. And then on TikTok, I'm Brad Chandler 6, the number 6.
If I haven't started following your account, I'm going to start following it today. So
thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
All right. So we'll actually put, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just my ego speaking now. I've had 400,000, almost 400,000 views in the last 7 days.
Wow, nice. So I'm definitely going to check it out. But we're going to put those links below if you're watching this on video, and they'll be in the show notes if you're listening to the podcast. So be sure to check out all of those links, and you will know. I guess Brad will announce it when he has some more coaching spots available and tell you where to go from there, from one of those social media platforms. So thanks again, Brad. Any parting words for the entrepreneurs out there?
Yeah, I think your personal freedom is, you can't get it from your business. You can go be the most successful fixer and flipper in the world, and you won't get freedom. You get freedom through self-love and self-compassion. And the only way you get freedom, self-love and self-compassion, is by getting rid of those false beliefs that you've lived with your whole life, that so many of us live with. That's it. I mean, that's the most important thing. If you tip that, like, some of you are going to take this and change, and your life is going to forever change. And other people are going to be like, no, I'm fine. Because a lot of people just aren't ready. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. So, when you're ready, I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks again, Brad. And until next time, Trailblazers, keep blazing your path forward.